east of Africa, traversed by the equator, Kenya, extending over 580,000 square kilometers. But beyond a peaceful appearance lies a country that is highly vulnerable to climate change.
In Kenya, what this means is that the few resources that they are relying on, the rivers are drying, the forests as well. The livestock don't have food to eat during drought. They lose a lot of livestock, especially in the arid and semi-arid areas, which incidentally comprise 80% of Kenya.
Kenya has a population of 44 million. GDP is roughly $1,000 per capita. Kenya is the economic powerhouse of East Africa. It enjoys sustained growth of over 5% per annum, a growing economy, but one that consumes more and more energy.
The focus for the government is energy, clean energy, accelerated development of geothermal energy.
In the Rift Valley, Lake Naivasha, a volcanic region at 2.5 hours drive from Nairobi. At the heart of this valley, Olkaria, a geothermal site.
Geothermal is energy from the earth. Here in Kenya, because the earth's crust has been broken by the Rift Valley, we just drill and the steam comes out naturally under pressure.
But renewable energy requires large initial investments. The Olkaria development project stands at $1 billion. The Kenyan government was granted a loan by international donors. AFD is participating to the tune of $210 million. Eventually, steam wells and turbines will allow it to produce an additional 280 megawatts, a sustainable electricity supply that will be shared along the grid. Beyond increasing production capacity, Olkaria draws clean energy from the Earth's subterranean heat, thus fighting climate change. Mombasa, second largest city in Kenya with over 1 million inhabitants. Global warming is already being felt in this coastal region of the Indian Ocean. Rising demographics, a rural exodus, more frequent droughts, all impose water stress on the city.
We are sort of like chasing the dream. We would be able to cater for the population growth as well. But in terms of the population growth, there will still be a certain percentage of a shortfall.
To ease the situation, AFD is financing the rehabilitation of water supply infrastructures. It all starts upstream at the heart of Shimba Hills. Here we find Marira Springs. Water flow is modest, but nevertheless crucial to the urban population downstream. The spring is part of a natural environment. This quality water requires minimal chemical treatment. It flows to the gates of Mombasa by simple gravity. No pumping is required, therefore no expenditure of energy. To avoid piracy along the pipeline, several kiosks have been installed. Villagers can get access to potable water. Kaya Bombo Reservoir halfway along the pipeline, a vital junction for water supply. From here, the Mombasa water pipeline will deliver water to downstream populations. Rehabilitation of the system provides 10 to 15% more potable water, but it does not solve all of Mombasa's problems. For the local population, water, although vital, essential to hygiene and general health, remains a luxury. Fortunately, there's a project for construction of a dam in 2020. Financed by the World Bank and AFD, it should secure supply of water in the region. But for now, we return to Marira Springs in the Shimba Hills, a national reserve. Its strategic importance to the water supply of Mombasa City has put it top of the list of local environment sites. KWS, Kenya Wildlife Service, manages protection of the reserve.
Kenya relies heavily on tourism, or nature tourism, and wildlife is a very, very important component. And because of this drought, we have also lost substantial amount of wildlife because of drought. And subsequently also we lose tourists themselves.
We have conflicts between wildlife and people. So I think we have to make sure that we have sufficient quantities for both wildlife, the surrounding communities, and their livestock.
Territories not only undergo climate change, but also farming procedures and poverty.
Are the people concerned about climate change here?
They are concerned so much. A few locals understand about climate change, majority don't. They say rain comes from God. Even if cut trees, rain will come, because they don't understand. These local people should be educated, because conservation is a collective responsibility.
We have educated our people the importance of having that forest cover remain intact, but they have to make sure that they also participate in the conservation. We have formed conservation committees within all the villages around the park. Why? Because we thought that it is not possible for us to conserve the water, to conserve the animals without involvement of them.
It's amazing that climate change is really connected in the day-to-day lives of the people, you know. And when you have drought, then you have a direct link in terms of food insecurity. Pasture becomes scarce and people have to struggle to use what is available, and you have conflicts.
Everything is connected: climate change, water resources, health, education. Priorities that can be linked to a single word: development.